was masking the issues with all the different leaks. And now that I've spent the last 2 months rebuilding all of it in the behind the scenes, I'm like, dude, like, I'm a pretty smart guy. And so for me to have this big of an issue, I can't imagine what normal people are having as issues. Mm-hmm. And when they're not closing deals and everything for these agencies, like they think it's the ads, and because that's always the leads suck. And then
the leads do not suck.
Yeah, it's just always, and it could be that your sales team sucks at sales, but to me anyways, I think it's more so all the things that happen in between lead to salesperson.
Yeah.
And you can't really fix that.
Yeah, you can't. But it's like,
well, you can fix it, but I'm just telling everyone
you
it's
can
really
fix it,
hard.
but it takes a lot of time to revamp and a lot of training and honestly a lot of money.
You just told me another thing where I'm just like, damn, dude, all right, I'm going to have to, there's another month basically that's going to have to happen to switch.
Yeah.
But I understand how hard and how valuable it is. But like, once again, agency wise, you'd be like, I don't know. I'm like, how do they make money? Like I was talking to my buddy Neil Patel, and Neil runs an agency, but not in the way that
isn't all SEO.
No. So he has a massive agency for enterprise companies.
Gotcha.
And so they manage literally like billions of ad spend. And we were just talking about it one time on the podcast, and he was like, yeah, we'll go bid to go get Coca-Cola's ad spend or Cisco's ad spend, and they're going to go spend $200 million with us. And like, we got to manage it and, spend it properly and hit their initiatives. And, the sales cycle to get that account is so big and long.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, we also have to front their ad spend for them because they can demand it. Right. There's like all these other agencies they get to choose from. And so they'll make them do net 30 for them,
Huh.
And I was like, wow, there's a lot that goes into that.
Holy crap.
But, you think about it, and I'm like, all right, well, those guys, yeah, that makes sense. When you're dealing with that big of ad spend, I don't know what they charge on it or how that,
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I could see how that makes sense because you ain't worried about their system or business being broke. Like they got it all dialed in.
Yeah. That's sick. Yeah, dude, Neil's been a tank for years now.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in the space for so long. God.
Yeah. He was telling me some stuff that I never even considered with ads and, SEO and all that stuff's what he's known for. But even, I saw he said the other day, he goes, hey, people are like, Neil, should I start a blog and, build up my SEO, my business and all this stuff? And he's like, no, if you're going to go put time and effort into something, you should start a podcast. Those are his words. And he goes, I forgot the math he had behind it, but it was like, there are hundreds of millions of blogs and articles and things right now. Like, there's basically one blog per every 5 people. And he's like, there are only like 5 million podcasts. And there are a lot of people listening to podcasts who also spend more money than people who read blogs. He's like, podcast viewers are the biggest spenders. And he was like, so think about it. There's only 5 million podcasts for the 300 million people in America. There's an undersupply of podcasts. There's an oversupply of blogs. That was his thesis. And I've been saying it. I just didn't really know why. Like I had my reasons why I believe
good for content too, dude. You do content without stressing yourself out about doing certain topics.
Oh yeah. Well, no, the content, the relationships, the long form, the clips, all of it. Like I already knew it was great for all those reasons. But when he said that, I was like, okay, that's the part I'd never could like explain, because to me, I was like, podcast is undervalued right now. I don't know how to explain it other than I see all the benefits I get, but now I can explain that, yes, it's also undersupplied relative to other forms of social media.
Yeah.
So, it's like, how many digital marketing podcasts are there where people are talking about ads and traffic? Like there's not many. Like Neil's been doing it for like 10 years. But he hasn't really had much competition.
Yeah, I mean, I just started mine like 6 months ago. It does okay. We get a lot of clients who watch it and buy.
Exactly.
And we track all the clicks and it's great, dude. It's sick.
Yeah, and you said it does okay. Like maybe it's not getting a ton of downloads or anything yet, but when you look at like how many people it gets to buy based on...
Oh, yeah. Dude, it adds easily actually like 20, 30K a month for us, which is fine. I mean, whatever. but it's like, I don't have to put up any money to really do it. It's not like this expensive thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, and podcast clips go more viral.
Yeah.
They get more views.
Yep. And those views push them to watch the full episode. And
then you collab.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a wrap. Yeah.
So what do you think is, for anybody who's thinking about doing paid traffic next year? I think you're going to say they need to get a low ticket offer, but like, what do you think?
I mean, next year it's going to be interesting because I don't know where the economy's going. So it's like, what's going to make your offer a little bit different from everybody else? Because everybody's running the same shit, dude.
Yeah.
Everybody's running you see all these ads like, oh, like 3 reasons we'll get you 30 qualified book calls in the next 30 days or whatever. Everybody's running the same shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you make your offer so sexy and different that people actually want to impulse buy? Second thing is having your numbers and like your omnipresence.
Yeah.
So like you're running ads on multiple platforms, but like what actually winds up scooping up the buyer? Like, how are you tracking that? 3 is focusing on the boring shit. Like your sales team, the setters, the automations, like the stuff that business owners don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then 4th is honestly online of is the event space.
Yeah, I agree.
Dude, like the event space crushes. The ROAS is ridiculous. If you're sitting there, I don't care if you don't have a lot of followers. You don't have to have a crazy following. You run a good local event and you run ads in a 15-mile radius, you get 50 people in a room and you can't make $100,000. That's sad. Like it's the easiest way. Like I say people this on like coaching calls and stuff is if you want to make $100,000 a month extra, run live events. And not even $100,000, dude. You can make $500,000 a month extra.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the easiest way to make money. You don't need to have a massive sales team. You go in person, you pitch, and you make money.
Speaking of that, back to ROAS, you said the live event, you're like, dude, I might make, $500,000 lifetime value from these guys. And it cost me $10,000 to run the event.
Yeah.
Like that's a 50X, you know, when it's all said and done. What kind of ROAS do you think is like industry standard for like high ticket?
For high ticket,
We're not talking events.